BFG, we break the chain, no middle ground. The old world's burning down to the sound. We rise from the static, rebuild the machine. BFG! 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 Locked inside this cycle of delay, too many hands in the way. The signal's lost through interference. We're done waiting for permission. They built their walls to take control, but we're igniting what they stole. Every barrier's bound to fall. We're the ones who burn it all. Every second's another decay. Every voice gets stripped away. No more silence, no more chains. We are the system that remains. BFG! We break the chain. No more in between. No more ghosts controlling the scene. We rise from the static, rebuild the machine. BFG, we connect, we move, we breathe clean. They sell control disguised as trust, turn the gold beneath to dust. But we see truth in real time now, and we're not backing down. Unified minds.
Oki said you guys need to get into it.
Lines, no disconnection. Cut the lies, align the view. What's real is breaking through. Every second's another decay. Every voice gets stripped away. No more silence, no more chains. We are the system that remains. BFG, we break the chain. No more in between.
I like this goal.
Ghosts controlling the scene.
Wait, let me do
That's
red.
rebuild the machine. BFG, we connect, we move, we breathe clean. I won't be filtered, I won't be sold. Your old controls running cold. Real data, real time, real demand. Power shifting to the brand. You can't stop what's built to evolve. With the future, the grand resolve. With a voice, with a proof. Buying freedom, that's the truth. BFG, we break the chain. No middle ground. The old world's burning down to the sound. We rise from the static, rebuild the machine. BFG, the freedom between the code and the dream. Cut out the noise. Cut out the pain.
Cut out the pain.
Rebuild the world. BFG, break the chain. BFG, BFG,
What?
BFG, BFG.
Love it.
How's that?
That was pretty darn good, Joel.
It's time to break the chain.
It's time to break the chain. But before we do, even more important, I want to wish everyone a happy Veterans Day. And I've got my Marine here with me. So thank you, Joel, for your service. And, you know, what's so neat about this industry that I found over the years is obviously we're surrounded by veterans. And, you know, both owners, employees of, you know, our customers, our employees. So definitely an awesome day to have this exciting, super exciting webinar. I've been talking about BFG in previous webinars, and I know we've had a couple of just webinars where we introduced a few things, but kind of today, it's really time for us to fully unveil everything that we've been working on for years. I mean, Joel, you've been with me for a long time. You've heard me complain how much I hate onion layers, right? And if you can eliminate onion layers, it not only simplifies life, but it also usually will result in just cost savings, right?
Less
Increase
tiers.
of margins, less tiers. Yeah. And that's really at the end of the day, when I started BFG and when I thought of this whole idea, it really was motivated by just trying to eliminate layers within, in this case, within the supply chain and the firearms industry. And after spending nearly 20 years in the wholesale distribution, I knew in certain situations, there's probably some better ways to do this, and there are ways to hopefully really help a lot of the retailers that we service, but also help the manufacturers. It's not just about cost savings, but it's also about, there's some amazing manufacturers that are completely underrepresented or not represented. So today, really the whole goal of this webinar is to introduce you to BFG, and not in my own words. Believe it or not, Joel, I'm going to pretty much sit this one out. I'm just here to make some introductions, and I'll introduce first a more familiar face, which is Charles Britt, who has been actually, Charles, I don't know if you know this, but December 1st actually marks your 4-year anniversary. I knew it was somewhere around 4 years, and I figured I'd have to look that up. So Charles has been with Coreware. He actually worked for one of our customers. I did not poach him. He was leaving anyway. I know that sounds like a familiar story that I tell, but I really don't poach employees from customers. Charles was moving, and we had gotten to know him, and I am truly fortunate to have Charles on board with Coreware, and we've pretty much moved him over to BFG at this point. Charles has so much knowledge of Coreware that he keeps getting pulled in, but Charles is the Chief Strategy Officer for the Buying Freedom Group, and also would like to introduce you. I don't know what the dog's name is, but Ryan Stout is our COO, and Ryan and I have known each other just now probably 3 years, right, Ryan?
No,
is it
yeah,
3 years?
Pretty close.
Yeah, about 3 years. And I'll let Charles and Ryan introduce themselves, but Ryan really started working with us because of his experience with BigCommerce. We were building an integration into BigCommerce, but we were, again, fortunate that Ryan was able to come on board, and initially came on board more as a sales function at BFG, but now he is, he's done a phenomenal job. I mean, this is going to be exciting for everyone that's attending, because we've got just exciting products that are going to be offered, and other exciting news. And, really, Ryan has done an incredible job. I've been clearly busy with a lot of things Coreware side. So it's neat for me to sit back a little and actually have a vision where I'm not in the weeds as much. I'm still a bit in the weeds, but not quite as much, not anywhere near with Coreware. Again, they go hand in hand, right? So that's an important note, because we had to really establish a presence with retailers and a platform for retailers before we actually started working on the BFG side of things. But with that said, Ryan, I'll let you fully introduce yourself so people get to know who you are and a little bit of your background. And I'm excited to sit back and watch. So I'll be here if you need me. But if someone's not calling my name, I am not saying a word. I'm going to take myself off the stage. So everyone, thank you again for coming. Happy Veterans Day, and thank you all of you veterans that have serviced us, and all the sacrifices that you have made. It's why we have the freedom to do all of this. So thank you.
Sounds good.
I'll be stepping away too. If you guys need anything, I am right here. If I mess up the screen in any way, be sure to call me out.
We will.
Just looking at the screen, and you guys may have me so enthralled with everything you're talking about, I might forget that I have a job to do. So carry it away.
Easy enough. Thanks, Joel. And thank you, Ezra, as well. And my name's Ryan Stout. I'm the COO here at Buying Freedom Group. You guys saw Stryker, who likes to get in the camera any opportunity that he has. And I also just want to say happy Veterans Day to all of my fellow Coasties and everybody else that has served in the military. really, really proud to have served with you guys. So we're going to get started today, but Charles, I want to let you introduce yourself, and then we'll kind of introduce Buying Freedom Group. I know it's new to a lot of you.
Yeah, hey everyone. Lots of familiar faces. Good to see everybody. Really excited to dive into, not only how you can get access to some great products, but what are some strategies you can use to really leverage the tools here. So it's more than just products. So excited to get into it. And yeah, Ryan, I think that was the CTO you had on the call, the Chief Treat Officer.
That's absolutely right. He is very upset that I don't have a box of them sitting right here with me. Next time, I'll make sure that I'm better prepared.
Perfect.
Well, cool. I want to just get started at a high level and tell you guys, like, who is BFG? What is BFG? What are we planning to do? Why are you all here, right? And in order to do that, I want to just kind of cover a few key points, right? We say that we are redefining the connection between brands and retailers. And it's like, okay, well, what does that really mean? So our mission statement is to empower brands and retailers to grow smarter. And by doing that, or the way we do that is to streamline operations, improve efficiencies, increase profit margins by connecting retailers directly to the brands that you want to carry. And not only that, but a lot of times brands are only putting certain products into distribution. And by connecting directly with those brands, you're able to see a broader inventory that you can put into your stores. And by digitally connecting, we're solving a lot of the nuance that is in place when you started as a retailer. And you're going to hear me bounce back and forth between all the personas, right? A brand and a retailer and a consumer, because there are benefits to everyone in this whole operation. So as a retailer, we're solving a lot of those things that, you didn't open a gun store so that you could manage and maintain and keep up an e-commerce website. You did it because you were interested in getting firearms into the hands of the consumers that use and trust them. So we're here to help you do that. And we are just a single platform that digitally connects, again, the brand to the retailer. And in doing so, we have unified catalog management, real-time inventory visibility, direct brand to retailer ordering. That's what you've all tuned into today. So we're going to get started with that direct order capability. What does it mean? How does it function? What are the benefits to the manufacturer, to the retailer, to the consumer? So really, at this point, Charles, I'll hand off to you. Why don't you go ahead and dive into direct ordering and let us know what is it and show us how it works.
Yeah, so direct ordering, like Ryan said, allows you to connect directly with manufacturer inventory. The nice thing is this is for in-store stocking orders as well as for drop ship. So, that can vary from manufacturer to manufacturer, but it's giving you that direct feed in. Let's dive in and take a look at what your back end as a retailer is going to look like when you log into Buying Freedom Group. So we've got a great list of manufacturers coming up here, but first let's see, what is that experience going to look like? It's not just another data feed where you're getting product. Like Ryan said, you're going to be able to get, exclusives, product that's potentially not in distribution. Of course, preferred pricing, early access to certain products from certain manufacturers, and dashboarding to really help you dial in what's working well for you, and knowing that your product data is going to be accurate. We've all had that experience in the space where you've got a great firearm that's showing up as a toilet brush image or something because of something going on with the data. So again, we just want to emphasize it's not just the product. That's the exciting part, but it's giving you the ability to know and trust, hey, I've got a direct relationship with these manufacturers. The product data is going to be correct. The map pricing is going to be correct, as well as any map holidays, automatically adjusting if you're one of our integrated partners. Ryan, I guess real quick, we've got a lot of people on the call here. Do you have to be in a certain group to even access this dashboard? How do you get access to become a part of the BFG?
Yeah, absolutely. You used a word that was that was really critical, right? Exclusivity. You said that a couple of minutes ago. And I want to make sure that everybody understands that the Greater Buying Freedom Group program, the application, the physical software is available for everybody to use, but there are some exclusive deals. I know we've been pushing a lot of emails out to everybody that's involved here about that exclusivity. There are a few brands that we'll talk about as we continue to go through the presentation today who are offering exclusive pricing and exclusive products to BFG members. However, there is some nuance around that, right? They do have some components that have to be measured up to. Let's just say it that way. And so what we want you guys to do, I know there's a lot of you on this call, we're going to put a QR code up here in the corner, whichever direction it is. And if you scan that QR code, it's going to contact information. So just go ahead and fill out that form. And then what we're going to do is over the next couple of days, me and the team will reach out directly to you and make sure that those criteria are met for those various brands that we have as part of today's program. I want to wait till the end. Of course, I got to save a little something for you guys. So we'll kind of release who those brands are throughout the course of today's presentation. But while you're waiting, while we're going through it, while Charles is actually showing you everything in the platform, hit that QR code, go ahead and fill out that form, and we'll go from there. But Charles, I know the direct ordering capabilities are really integral to everything that comes later. And we'll talk about the live inventory dealer locator. We're going to talk about analytics. We're going to talk about all that. But do you want to show what it would look like as a retailer to be able to order a product?
Yeah. So let's get that loaded back up here. And yeah, make sure y'all are snagging that QR code to get that initial access. So this is your dashboard. As you can see, we're going to be talking about Keltec here shortly. So hang on for that. You can look at what you've ordered. You can look at reports, but what everyone's going to be interested in is how do you actually place an order directly to a manufacturer? When you go into your placed orders table, you're going to see what you've ordered. Now, some interesting things that savvy eyes are going to catch. Look at this, right? We've got pending, we've got back ordered. Back ordering capability directly from a manufacturer is going to be super powerful, especially for those stocking dealers, right? Where, hey, maybe there's some new 2026 models coming out. So rather than kind of going through that longer supply chain process, being able to, as soon as those release dates are up, having an order in directly with a manufacturer is going to be awesome. And then again, because you're part of this network, the manufacturers love knowing that, hey, all of the data is going to be correct on your site. You're a participating stocking dealer and you're going to be on the manufacturer's website, which we'll get to later. So let's say we want to go ahead and put in a new order after we see, hey, you know what? This is looking like a really hot item. Let's go ahead and add some more of those on back order because maybe you've already sold out your pre-orders at your store. So you can jump in here and actually filter by brand, right? So you can go in and shop whichever brands that you want to order from. Now, the nice thing is, from a sort of technical and financial standpoint, you can add all of these to your cart and it's going to split those out as separate POs. So just from the time saving standpoint, it's going to be just so nice having one place where you're not clicking around onto different websites, different screens, and being able to track that. Now, if you're using an integrated partner like Coreware, those POs are going to be in your system too. So just such a better streamlined process. So you can see here, I'm fired up about getting this new Keltec. You can go in and take a look at the availability, add that to your cart, and boom, you're off to the races. Now, there will be minimums, and that's based on the manufacturer, right? Some may have no minimums, some may have certain thresholds, but the other nice thing is we're working in conjunction to make sure that it's efficient. So those minimums are going to optimize, shipping costs to make it, as low as possible, free shipping thresholds, and really, again, streamlining that whole process. Now, the other nice thing, like we said, the back order capability. Let's go ahead and let's just look at Keltec here. You'll see, this is back orderable. So, if you were really excited about this, you can start taking pre-orders at your store and know that you've got that direct connection to the manufacturer and go ahead and back order that inventory. So just a ton of flexibility, and it's just a great shopping experience, especially with the ability to switch between different manufacturers, but have all of that fed down into one platform.
Charles, I know that one of the cool things we're seeing here is when you clicked on create an order, the data that is coincides with each of those product images, right? We're sitting here and I see that the one you have highlighted, there's 42 available. The one right next to it, out of stock. The next one, 241 available. So I just want to make sure that we're calling out the data, right? I spend a lot of time in my day-to-day working with our data team. And just to give you guys some insight into how are we doing this, right? Obviously, I don't want to give you the keys to the castle, but I want to make sure that you guys understand fully what the premise is, where the data is coming from. Is it good data? Is it clean data? And what we're doing is we're actually integrating to a series of partners that are out in the ecosystem. Celerant is one of our partners. Coreware is one of our partners. There's a bunch of others that we're working with as well. And what we're doing is we're actually API connecting in to their inventory management systems, whether that's the physical POS at a brick and mortar location, or whether that's their actual e-commerce store. And so we're taking that data, we're ingesting it, we're normalizing it, and then we're pushing that data back out. And it gives us the ability to do a couple of really cool things. Number one is give you this ordering capability that you're seeing right here, where you're able to go through, is the product in stock? Is it not in stock? Is there back order capabilities on said SKU? If so, order it even if it's out of stock, etc. But one of the cool things it does is it also allows us to give really good analytics all the way down to the demographic information. And so it's a cool additive piece of technology that we have, primarily useful for the manufacturers to be able to say, where are my products going? Where are they selling? Who are they selling to? Where should I invest my sales strategy dollars and my marketing strategy dollars? And being able to say it's selling to a specific demographic at a specific part of the country is really critical. But the other thing it allows us to do is a live inventory dealer locator. And I know that just hearing that, it's one of those things that we've talked about at SHOT Show over a bourbon for the last, what would you say, Charles, 15 years we've been talking about maybe doing something like this, and now it's finally available?
Exactly. Yeah. In every other industry, all the way down to a light bulb, you can find what's in stock. And so if you're a dealer, maybe you're on a manufacturer stocking dealer, or their dealer locator, I should say. And it really a lot of times sets your customer up for failure, because if I'm on, in this example, SIG site, and I'm really interested in this firearm with a conventional dealer locator, I get a list of like 20 dealers around me that are, SIG dealers, quote unquote. But, maybe I stop by the one that's closest to me on the way home from work, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, we've got like a SIG hat and some magazines, but let me sell you this other thing that wasn't the reason you came in. So on the consumer side, it can kind of feel like a bait and switch. If you are in the BFG integrated network, you're going to have your inventory actually feeding up to the manufacturer's e-commerce sites. So again, it's not just about having that product from the manufacturer, it's that full circle. So if I now am on an integrated site like SIG here, I can see, oh, hey, Charles's gun shop has 2 of these in stock. Here's the great thing. If I click on that link, it's going to take me to Charles's gun shop's website, but directly to the product page of the item that I was interested in on the manufacturer site, if that makes sense. So there's actually some major SEO value there, because that is going to allow you to get that backlink. You're getting a product-specific backlink to the manufacturer's website. So that's great value. Let's go ahead and pull up that locator here on the screen, and we can kind of show you what that looks like. So
any of you guys that have e-commerce websites out there, when you hear SEO, you know what a big thing that is, right? SEO is everything. It's putting the billboard up on the highway as you're driving down the road to get people to understand that your business exists. Nobody knows to go to ryansguns.com unless a search engine tells them to go there. So SEO, or search engine optimization, is critical. And being able to get that direct backlink is a huge plus for the retailer side. From a consumer side, you're able to go to the dealer locator, see exactly where that gun is. So you're not, I don't want a P320. I go down to a store that may or may not have it, and I end up leaving with a Glock 19. And so from the consumer side, there's a benefit. From the retailer side, you're getting that SEO backlink and a consumer that's going to come purchase from you. And then from the manufacturer perspective, you're ensuring that when you send a consumer to a store to go look at your firearm, they're not leaving with a competitor's firearm. And would you say that's pretty accurate across the board there, Charles?
Exactly. Yeah. So let's show some other functionality here. If we can pull that back up, we'll dive into that locator real quick. And so it's not just feeding that inventory. Again, because you're buying direct from these brands, you'll be able to participate in their stocking dealer platforms. So number one, right, and of course this is brand specific, but generally speaking, if they have a stocking dealer program, you will then be filtered to the top of their live inventory dealer locator. Now this is a demo site here, so you'll see, we've kind of got some different settings with the low stock notification, but you can even filter, right? Hey, I want to see the elite dealers. If you are a range, right, we can have the ability to add, you can go rent this gun today to try it out, right? So the manufacturers are really excited about that. It's like, hey, highlight the ranges that have this in their rental program. And that's going to drive traffic into your store. So just such a better experience for the manufacturer, for the consumer, and for the dealers especially. So that's the great thing, right? If you're buying through the platform, the dealers know, hey, you've got that inventory. They're going to be, featuring you on their sites as those stocking dealers.
Yeah, that's awesome, Charles. I'm sorry, I was looking at my cell phone there for a second. It's dinging like crazy. So obviously there are a lot of you that are scanning the QR code and filling out the form. I think earlier Charles had some pricing of the Kel-Tec firearms when he was going through that experience. And the savvy ones of you, I'm sure, were comparing that to the price sheets that you guys have. I just want to call out, this is 2026 pricing that we're showing. So that will be available at that point. But Kel-Tec is offering some special treats to those of you who do register that are accepted into their beta program. And so I just want to make some caveats here, some call outs. The QR code that you're scanning is to get us to call you up, get you on the phone, and make sure that all the criterion is there for you to participate in these programs across a series of manufacturers that we have. So that QR code is back up on the screen. A bunch of you have already scanned it. Continue to scan it, you guys. And this doesn't register you for buying Freedom Group, the program, the software, but it does get your information into my hands. And again, like I said, me and the team will reach out to you in the next day and a half to just go through a program quiz, right? We're going to talk to you, figure out who you want to sell for. We're going to let you know all the different manufacturers that are part of the program in its beta form. And then once we get through that, we'll get you all registered for everything. We'll share the special pricing with you and do all of that. So I just wanted to call that out again, Charles, just because so many people are signing up at the moment.
Awesome.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ryan, I'm hopping in. I was going to hop in really quick. Sorry.
Yeah.
I know I said I wouldn't, but I think one of the coolest things, if you guys don't mind me just interjecting.
Come on.
I want to emphasize this because sometimes people think, hey, I'm going to scan the QR code and a sales guy is going to call me, right? Oh, now what's the sales pitch? So Ryan, can you just address this? What's the cost to the retailer?
Yeah. So the cost, I mean, Ezra, you make a perfect call out, right? It's a matter of we're showing you guys all these amazing things, right? Look at this car. Look how fast it is. It's rear-wheel drive. It's a V8. It's turbocharged. It's $6 million. The cost to the retailer is nothing. Sign up. Fill out the QR code.
Zero.
I, the COO of the company, will call you in the next 48 hours. We will discuss everything that we have to offer within the ecosystem of Buying Freedom Group. I will get you signed up to all of the brands that you qualify for. And basically the cost is maybe a sore finger from clicking all the buttons of everything you want to order because the pricing is literally unbelievable. There's never been pricing like you're going to see that we have. We'll leave it at that. I was going to dig a little deeper, but we'll dig deeper when we get you on the phone call. Scan the QR code. There is no cost. There is no subscription cost. This isn't a SaaS offering. This is something that we're just bringing to the table for you. We have found a way. Ezra has found a way to communicate between the brand and the retailer that is so automated, so simplified that we're able to offer it at no cost. And not only is it at no cost, but the margins are significantly lower than what you've experienced historically. I don't want to dig too deep into that today. That's not what this call is about. This is about us showing what our technology can do. We'll get into the pricing conversations and show you where the ROI is just unbelievable when we get on a phone call together. So again, I'm beating a dead horse here, but scan that QR code. Go ahead and get that filled out, and we'll reach out to you. But Charles, you want to continue showing the platform?
Well, yeah, and just to address a couple questions, if you are a home-based or even a super small dealer or just starting out, don't feel like, oh man, there's a bunch of gating that's going to happen. This is, particularly for the beta, for Keltec, because the demand's going to be high, right? You just want to get on that list first so that there's an awareness of you. But that's the great thing. If you have trouble purchasing through other avenues, this is available to anyone and everyone, home-based, new FFL, and you're like just trying to crack into this ecosystem all the way up to, big box and multi-store. So yeah, it's worth it for everyone to sign up and get rolling with it.
Yeah, and so Chris, I'm looking in the comments here in the chat. Chris asked a question about what area code should I be looking for. I think the easiest way to go about it, two things. Number one, I will be calling from my phone, so it's a 512 area code. I'm out of the Austin area, so look for that area code if I'm calling. Ryan Stout is the name that you're going to see on your phone. But primarily, what I'm going to do is I'll shoot you an email, and we'll actually schedule a call so that it's just nice and simple. Like I said, I've got my phone's dinging like crazy over here. So we're going to have to schedule this stuff out. I'm happy to just rip the phone and call you guys, but I think scheduling something is a little easier. The other question is, and I'm glad you asked this one, Charles, is this only for stores doing millions of dollars in revenue? Absolutely not. This is for everybody. I own one small gun shop that exists in Marfa, Texas, all the way to I'm Bass Pro Shops. This is a program that can be used for anyone who is taking a firearm from a manufacturer and putting it into the hands of a consumer. So,
and it's not a buy group, right? In that conventional sense, this isn't. It's more than just the product, like we said. It's bringing an ecosystem and a true relationship and connection to you as the retailer with the manufacturer, right? Because again, you'll be seeing, hey, stocking order bundles, right? A new manufacturer rolls out, or hey, here's an end cap, right? Buy this end cap display. We're going to support you with content. We're going to support you with in-store media. You're going to be on the stocking dealer locator. So the play here isn't like, let's try to get up as much volume to get the lowest pricing. Having the best pricing is a byproduct of the fact that the manufacturers want this relationship with you as the retailer. And so that's the cool thing, right? You'll have a much more direct line of communication. Again, to go back to the map pricing, Ryan, you think that's kind of a good segue here to maybe dive a little bit into that? Or
yeah, and I want to, I know we're saying map pricing, but I almost want to make sure that we're calling it out for the purposes of the individuals who are on the call today that are part of the Coreware ecosystem and in the Celerant ecosystem in the longer term, from not only being the map pricing engine, but kind of a content engine as a whole.
Correct. Yeah. So, especially brands that do map holidays, that do rebates. If you're even a mid-size retailer, you might get an Excel file with 600 items. That's like, oh, hey, there's a 1-week map holiday. Well, a lot of people don't have the time to go and edit their website. And so then it's kind of those larger platforms that end up benefiting the most from those map holidays, et cetera. If you are connected to VFG via your POS or e-commerce system, that's all going to be automated. all the way up to, you know, for some brands where they're doing a sale on Amazon. Well, guess what? Your price on your website, if you want it to, will automatically adjust to match an Amazon sale. So now you are competitive with Amazon without even having to do anything. Of course, we're talking about some accessory brands there, but yeah, that's the great thing, right? It's a fully empowered system that gives you price competitive and rebate competitive capabilities without any manual labor.
Yeah, I like the fact. I mean, you kind of called out there, Charles, the benefits from the retailer, right? The retailer perspective, like what does the map and content engine benefit the retailer? I want to call out the positives on where it benefits the manufacturer as well, the brand, right? So Keltec, we'll use it as an example because we've used them throughout the course of this presentation. Keltec has spent, and call out to you, Matt, Keltec has spent a lot of time from a marketing standpoint building content that is very brand specific, 4K imagery, a really detailed descriptions that follow their brand identity and all of that. The cool thing is now when they go and fill out their map and MSRP and all those prices, when they put out that map policy, yeah, we can ingest that and we make it really easy for the retailer to now show that pricing. So solving a lot of problems on the retailer side. But from the manufacturer side, that brand identity can now be pushed into BFG from the brand. And then we take that information and push it into the retailers. So descriptions, specifications, images, videos, prices, all of that gets pushed downstream. So from the retailer perspective too, I mentioned earlier, not everybody's super technical savvy. I know I couldn't build an e-commerce website if I wanted to that was if any value. So being able to know that all that content is being pushed into my PDPs without me having to do anything is another huge benefit. And Ted, I know you called out like there's got to be a catch. I've been working here for 3 years. I can't figure out what it is, man. There isn't one. There's a benefit to the manufacturers. It's easy. It's simple. You've got brand awareness, etc. From the retailers, everything's easy. It's automated. It's a direct connection. It's better margins. From a consumer standpoint, I know where the gun is no matter what it is that I'm trying to buy. I can't find one, Ted. If you can, please let me know.
Yeah, and from that content piece, let's go ahead and show what's going to be coming in the pipeline with some of the Keltec product. That again is just going to level you up if you're participating in this program, right? You're getting the locator, you're getting the access to products, but you're also going to be getting this, where we can have this be your product detail page on your website. So, you know, rather than that boring stock image, you don't have to do anything, right? This is just going to be what consumers see when they're looking for products. Like, hey, how do those sites look? Ooh, that's nice. Pretty slick. So again, that's why it's more of that. It's a relationship, you know, with the manufacturer, because of course they want this on your website, and we're enabling that. If you want, you can actually scan this QR code. It will do augmented reality of this firearm to where you can literally see what it looks like in your hand from your phone screen. So pretty awesome. And again, just a nice little cherry on top for participating in.
Spin that sucker around a little bit more there, Charles, because I want to also say, if you're a manufacturer and you're on the call right now, I don't care if you're on BigCommerce, Shopify. Well, we won't talk about Shopify. BigCommerce, Magento, WordPress, Woo. It doesn't really matter, right? If you need 3D augmented imagery like you're seeing here, if it's something that you've been talking about from a marketing perspective, you don't have to be part of any of the BFG programs to get something like this. This is an independent tool that we have, but all we need are some basic images. I know historically there's like 3D Kit is one that you guys are probably familiar with, where you actually have to send a firearm out. They have to have an FFL. They've got to scan it into their things. It's, tens of thousands of dollars per SKU. Our system is much, much simpler. And, again, it's fill out the QR form, the QR code form, get with me, and we can talk more about it. We can give you a full demo of this piece of product. But just like I said, part of the manufacturing benefit here is that the content gets pushed downstream into the individual stores. Over 2,000 stores right now. And so if as a brand, you want to get some of this 3D rendering, call us, let's get it turned on, and then let's push it downstream to all of those stores and really elevate your brand above all the others. I just wanted to call that out there, Charles. I know that we were talking to it about the retailer side, but I'm a sales guy. Any chance I have to push one of our products, I will.
For sure.
So the only thing we haven't shown here, and I don't know if we really have something spun up to do it, is the analytics. And I want to talk about that at a high level, just to make sure that people understand that there's a number of tools that are part of the Buying Freedom Group tool set, right? We're like a Gerber tool, and direct ordering might be the blade that allows the retailers to connect directly with the brands. But there's also a lot of sub tools that exist in there, right? We talked about the live inventory dealer locator, but I want to talk to analytics. And really, I guess the one of the key points, I already mentioned demographics, but Charles, can you talk to us a little about like the sales velocity tool and some of those other tools that are built in to help a manufacturer or a brand ensure consistency in inventory at the retailer level?
Yeah, for sure. So, a lot of times as a retailer, you can get so busy, even if you have a dedicated team to maintaining your max and mins, to keeping up to date with what's selling. You can kind of miss that, right? And you miss one PO 1 week, especially coming into holiday, and that can cost you a lot of money if you're sold out on what people want. So, the manufacturer's having a velocity tool and being able to see, hey, what's in stock at our retailers, what's selling. That's going to allow them, again, to have that relationship with you, as well as you having that data to know, oh, hey, you know what? Based on last year's sales, we need to order X amount, and that's going to optimize, our financial success this quarter, this month, et cetera. So again, it's kind of creating that automatic, right? It's not salesy of like, hey, you guys need to buy more of these. It's raw data of this is what will sell, and here's what you're going to miss out on, based on the data, if you're not having like these levels.
Yeah, I love the fact that, you mentioned the ability to look at some of those sales that are in that pending stage as we get into the holiday season, whether that's a layaway or whatever it may be, and really giving the manufacturer the visibility to see that although there may be 6 firearms in stock at a specific location, they're already spoken for, and knowing that they need to make sure that they have additional allocation going to those locations. So again, just a number of tools. I think the goal of today is to really impart to you guys the general overall 100,000 foot view capabilities of the ecosystem. And then I know this is a really smart group of people, be able to extrapolate from that all the various things that you think we can do. And then again, fill out that QR code, get on the phone with me, ask your questions. We can go through just about anything and everything. I know Josh is asking a question about who else is participating in the program, and we will talk through a few of the manufacturers today that are part of this beta program. And you're going to, you keep hearing me say beta. This is a soft release of the product. We are working with a few manufacturers and a few retailers, which is why I really need you to fill out that QR code so that you can be one of them. And again, you don't need to be doing $1 million in sales. Everybody has their own criterion. Each manufacturer has their own criterion. Like a good example is, maybe an NFA item. So you have to be class 3, things like that. So whatever you do, don't think that you shouldn't fill out the QR because you're not big enough or sell enough or the right kind of store, et cetera. Just get it filled out. Let's have a conversation and we'll go from there. But Josh asked if the PSA is giving away different stuff. PSA, I'll say right now, is not yet part of the ecosystem. So if you have a connection there, Josh, connect us up. Like, let me talk to him. Let me get him on the program, because there's no reason. You guys have already heard it's a win-win-win. Like there's literally no reason that every single brand shouldn't be part of this ecosystem. It's just, it's just early, right, Charles? It's early in what we're doing. So it's a matter
exactly. Yeah. And again, it's direct to manufacturer, right? So, we can't make a broad claim about every there's going to be there's already lots of manufacturers on this platform. So I can't say it's going to be better than, some other avenue. But again, like Ryan said, you can see how this works and figure out the value there. But it's not just about price. It's also about access. It's like, hey, maybe trying to sell the least expensive gun for the least expensive price might not be the best strategy when, oh, wait a minute, I've got access to the hard to get guns that no one else has through this platform, right? So there's more than one angle for this. And then of course, right, hey, well, your SEO is going to be better. So, not every consumer is shopping just on price. So that's the nice thing. It's kind of bringing it all together. And also from that manufacturer list, we're going to be showing you several that aren't in distribution today. Part of the exciting thing is we can find, cool products and connect the manufacturers with those. And that's a huge win, because if you've got a product on your site and in your store that, the 7,000 other dealers don't, because it's just one SKU in the massive data feed, right? That product's going to be a lot more interesting. Your consumers, it's going to be fresh to them because they haven't seen it on every other site and in every other store. You'll be like one of the few that actually has a lot of these products. So that's another great angle. And kind of part of our focus, right, is it's hey, bringing product that's not in distribution. And for the manufacturers that are in distribution, they have a lot of SKUs that are not in distribution, that are a lot of times the coolest ones, right? Integrally suppressed products, for an example, right? A lot of manufacturers don't even carry that stuff. Braced guns, where it's like, maybe those aren't in distribution. So you're going to get access to a broader catalog from the top brands that, maybe you are also selling through distribution.
Yeah, and I think the other thing to keep in mind too is you said distribution there a lot, and I think by removing distribution from the conversation, we're also creating a much faster experience in getting a firearm from a manufacturer to the retailer level. And especially as the holidays are coming around and we start to understand what are hot sellers, I think that's really key too, to be able to have that direct line of communication from your retail store directly to that brand. And so that's key. But, Charles, Ted, Jay, all three of you are talking a little bit about pricing. Scan that QR code, guys. The only way, I can't walk you through every price of every firearm that we've got on the site, right? And whether or not it's bigger, better, or better. I would like to believe so. The research we have done shows that it is. But scan the QR code. Let's get you into the system. And then you guys can poke around yourselves. Like do some comparative pricing, right? Compare what we've got to your distributor pricing to direct stuff that you might be able to have, whether that be PSA or any of the other brands that you're talking about. So scan the QR. Let's get you into the system, and you can start doing your own research within BFG. Charles, do you want to talk to the manufacturers that we've got lined up for the beta program?
Yeah, let's dive into that. But real quick, I'm going to drop a quick hint on another tool that's going to allow you to leverage, this direct access, particularly for product that's not in distribution. Be on the lookout for BFG shipping. So you're going to have shipping rates, especially with our integrated partners. So Coreware, working through with Celerant, et cetera, to where your ability, I can tell you right now, if you're using any other shipping platform, we're going to have rates that make it worthwhile for you to even buy, from distribution, non-dropship items, so that you have them, and it's going to allow you to, afford to ship those out. So if you're interested in that, if you want a quote on your firearm shipping rates, ammo shipping rates, same thing, scan the QR code, drop that in the note, and we can get you some incredible pricing on shipping. So again, that's going to bring it all full circle. More on that later, but that is an important piece, because especially for those stocking orders, it allows you more confidence to bring more into the store, because, hey, guess what? When the rest of retail or, distribution sells out, you'll have that inventory in store and you can ship it out nationally at a great price. But yeah, let's go ahead here and jump to what?
Lawrence, I see you said that shipping to Alaska is normally a killer. I feel you. Alaska, Hawaii, right? Anytime you're literally leaving the contiguous U.S., that price is just insane. The way that we've done it is we've essentially combined all the shipping across all of our integrated partners, gone to UPS and said, hey, this is what we have as a whole across all these 2,000 retailers. This is how much movement we have. And so they've given us a rate for that volume. And so it doesn't matter if you're shipping to zone 1, 2, 3, 5, or to Hawaii and Alaska, the rate's going to be better. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's not just, there's some other pieces there that are really powerful. So more on that later, but let's hop into these brands. We'll go ahead and pull up. And again, this is a quick introduction to the first handful of brands, right? Again, some names that you know, but we want to introduce some of these new brands that you may not know, because it's exciting to have that fresh product in your store. So first on up, we've got Pitbull Tactical. Now, I know there are some dealers that probably have this. This is a great example of something that is not available, conventionally for drop ship, but now it will be. And the great thing with this product, made in USA, super high quality, right? These are magazine carriers, very flexible in terms of inside the waistband, outside the waistband. You can swap out colors. And the great thing is they're universal. So especially for that online experience, or having a store display of this, right? You want to eliminate that decision fatigue. Oh, well, does this fit my magazine? Does that fit my magazine? I got 3 different guns. Do I need to get 3 different mag pouches? It's oh, cool. Add this to your cart because it 100% is going to fit. Awesome. So great option here. And we're going to have some incredible pricing, as well as, again, some stocking dealer kits where it's just, hey, you click one button, you get a perfect assortment, nice little display that you can set up, and you're off to the races with Pitbull Tactical. So again, awesome brand, and it's going to be kind of fresh and exciting for your consumer base. All right, so be on the lookout for that. Next up, Olight and Osight. So, you probably are familiar with both of these brands. The Osight has been incredibly popular. That's their red dot. They've got some really cool new stuff launching actually tomorrow. So definitely sign up. You'll get that direct access to Olight and Osight. One great thing about Olight, right? It is, especially coming into holiday, their flashlights, their little like floating, glowing lantern bulbs, right? They got a lot of fun accessories. My kids have probably like 5 of those little Olight magnetic bulbs. It's a great point of sale purchase, in your checkout line. And they got a wide variety of pricing, right? So they got those great little $5 lanterns. And then for that person that wants that, $700, 20,000 lumen light, you've got that availability. And again, that'll be for drop ship as well as stocking orders. Here's the cool thing. They'll be able, if there is an Olight sale on Amazon, they will adjust the pricing to where, oh, hey, cool. Like no map pricing today. It'll auto adjust if you're part of the integrated e-com sites. So again, it allows you to basically automatically be price competitive with Amazon, with those other, retailers without having to do anything. So again, that's both the Olight series as well as the Osight optics line. And then they've recently dropped the Battler. That is the weapon light. They got the blue laser. They got the green laser. I actually have one of these as well. I've been super impressed with that.
Yeah, I just actually ordered one of those for my 1854. So I was camping at the Grand Canyon this last week, and the dog went crazy, started barking at something in the darkness, and I didn't have any light on it because it's a brand new gun to me. And so I just stared off into the darkness, hoping that a Yeti wasn't coming to get me. But hopefully by next weekend, I'll have my new light, my new Osight light, and I'll be able to mount that on the gun and hopefully be able to see what I'm aiming at from that.
It's great stuff. And our mag carriers we just showed, Lawrence, those are made in America. But I bet the phone you typed that on was actually made in China too. So it's just, there's a lot of product out there in the market, right? And there's different value propositions for different consumers. If you haven't used an Olight or an Osight, I definitely recommend giving it a try. You also will be seeing, American optics on the platform. So
Charles, again, you had that miniature sun in your hand earlier. Do you still have that handy?
Yeah, I'll switch over when I get off the slides here.
Oh, okay. Easy enough. Easy enough.
Yeah. All right. Gun Guard. So this is a really cool product, especially. Oh, thank you, Joel. There we go. It's if you're a range, if you're a gunsmith, you can buy these in bulk. It's a perforated flannel lubricated, basically gun oil wipe, which sounds like, a very simple product, but this is just such a great product. And again, what I love about them is they've got some great retail displays that you'll have access to. And if you look at the bottom, they've got that one that looks kind of like an Altoids can that's got like 25 wipes. So it's a great, again, just sort of point of sale purchase, a great add-on, a great stocking stuffer. Like, oh, hey, if someone doesn't want to commit to a whole cleaning kit, oh, hey, snag this, throw it in your back pocket, put it in your glove box. You've got these wipes ready to go. So be on the lookout for that. Again, great for stocking and drop ship recommended items. Awesome stuff here from Gun Guard. Patented too, which is always cool. And then Sericam. So Sericam, super cool company. Of course, these are imported firearms. They've got some awesome, like whatever, what you would call like a clone gun, right? But incredible pricing on these. And I've actually had the opportunity to run a couple of these, and I was super impressed. So great pricing on these. The exclusive here for the early signups, the S19, you're going to get 4 of those for $9.99. They also will have like a range program, right? So if someone's looking for an incredible value, this is going to be a great option, and you'll be able to get these into your rental fleet for people to compare, right? It's like, hey, let people make their decisions, right? Maybe they're like, yo, you know what? No, I don't want that version, right? That's what we're all about, is giving your consumers, options and clarity. Other kind of great thing is it's not just the gun. The packaging's awesome. It comes with like a proper case, lots of magazines, a cleaning kit, like a full cleaning kit. So for like a first-time buyer, this is a really good option because it's kind of got everything baked in, and some great pricing here. They got a wide lineup as well. Some AKs, really kind of anything you want. And this will be available for dropship as well as for stocking orders. All right, and Northreach. Ryan, I'll let you take the Northreach.
Yeah, no worries. I want to call this one out. We kind of waited on this one because there's a few things to call out. And number one is, Northreach is a great company. They're out of Idaho. They're building amazing suppressors. I actually just ordered a 46 for the same gun I was just talking about moments ago. But one of the situations we've run into, and I'm sure a lot of you have run into, is that the government is shut down right now. And so transferring any NFA item is simply not possible. So for manufacturers in the space that are specific to NFA, right? So suppressors, making cans is one of those big ones. Right now, while you're in this weird situation, I guess is the best way to say it, this is the perfect time to scan that QR code, get on the phone with us. As a manufacturer, get on the phone with us, and let's get you pushed to these thousands of stores so that as soon as that government opens back up, your product is now in thousands of stores across the nation, ready to start pumping out. So kind of wanted to save Northreach. Like I said, great guys. Andrew's been working with us to get everything set up. They're going to have some really cool offers for everybody. It's a little bit of a conundrum with the whole shutdown. We'll see where it goes. But, we got back ordering,
Ryan. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good call out, Charles. So by all means, start ordering them. And as soon as everything opens back up, he can use our amazing shipping rates to get them straight over to you.
Awesome. All right.
Go ahead with Keltec real quick.
Yeah. So of course, we already talked about Keltec, but you're going to get incredible access, number one, to products that you can't get through distribution, which is great. As well as, kind of everything else. And, with Keltec, a lot of those models sell out crazy fast and they can be hard to get. So, getting in on those direct to manufacturer back orders, I think is going to be, super clutch for all of the dealers here, plus having that upgraded content and the in-stock dealer locator. All righty.
Cool. Before we get into the registration, first off,
Yep.
Lawrence, right, Dave, all you guys, thanks for letting me know all that. I love the fact that the government is slowly starting to run some things. I know trying to get some of the FFL information and stuff has been a bit of a nightmare for everybody. But a question that was asked is, do you have to be part of Coreware Advanced? And the answer is simply no. Now, Coreware, thank you very much for having us and presenting us on your webinar today. But although Coreware is the main integrated partner of Buying Freedom Group, you've heard us mention a few other names today too, of other integrated technical partners. So it does not matter who you are as far as your platform is concerned. You can be
Yeah, you don't have to be integrated at all.
at all, right?
Yeah, you can have a pen and paper point of sale system.
There you go.
And still get access to this.
Is that still a point of sale system if it's pen and paper?
A pencil point of sale system.
There you go. Pencil sales system. I like it. Okay. But yeah, it's one of those that, you know, you don't need to be integrated in any measurable way. You just have to have scanned that QR code and be part of Buying Freedom Group. And then you have access to everything that we've shown today. So that's a critical component. Ezra, did you want to add something?
I do. With that said, I do want to make sure everyone understands out of the gate, if you want your website to showcase product from BFG without lifting a finger, right now you have to be running CoreForce, any edition of CoreForce. So any edition of CoreForce, when we expose these products for ordering, right? We talked about a lot about stock ordering, but the play here is not just ordering for your store, it's also showcasing these products on your website. So currently that is the only avenue to do that with. At BFG, we'll work on further integrations. They probably won't be available till next year, just to be completely transparent about it. We've got a big roadmap, even though we've done a ton of work. We've got a lot of work going on. Again, if there are, we always have an interesting audience, right? So the neat thing of me being in the industry for now 3 decades, I hate aging myself, is I know a lot of people and I work with a lot of people. And I've always told people when I put my Coreware hat on is Coreware's not necessarily a fit for everyone, right? Some people like Cadillac, some people like Dodge, some people like Ford. My goal is just to basically help retailers. I have a passion for brick and mortar retail. Nothing against our online only customers. Again, we have customers that just do online, but my passion from when I was a kid, my dad was a librarian, but at one point he had a wild idea and decided to open up a bookstore. And that just has always been one of my best memories, is just sitting up on a ladder reading books in my dad's bookstore. So I've always had a passion for brick and mortar retail. That's what drives me. That's what motivates me. That's my mission. I don't get rattled by any noise out there, right? I do basically focus my efforts on how can I help brick and mortar retail. If you want to run Coreware, great. If you don't want to run Coreware, that's fine too. There's other solutions out there. I happen to know many of them and have great relationships with them. We mentioned Celerant. Celerant's not the only one. We've talked to AIM. We're talking to Cervell, who's a fantastic software company. So again, BFG is we created as a separate entity because I knew, right, as the founder and owner of this company, I knew going in that I wanted to make sure that this is accessible to not just Coreware customers, because manufacturers wouldn't work with us if we only worked with Coreware customers. Think about it. Coreware has the largest number of retailers right now, but it's still a percentage, right? The manufacturers are coming to us because they know that we've built this platform to be Switzerland, right? And again, the audience here, Some of my competitors might be on. Some of them who don't talk to me might be on here trying to figure out what's Ezra's up to, right? And again, I saw Ted's message. What's the catch? There is no catch. It's just like when I came out with Core Store. We still are the lowest price point of sale system out there for what you get, for everything that we offer, right? And everyone said, Ezra, you're pricing it too cheap. There's no way it does everything you say it does. And it does, right? I'm a long-term bettor. I'm extremely patient. And my most hated word in the English language is greed. I am not greedy. So this is how we're pulling it off. We are making revenue at BFG through the manufacturers, but we're making it affordable for them because we want to make sure that it's a win-win-win situation. So just to be clear, BFG right now, out of the gate, you can sign up, scan the QR code in case you hadn't heard it enough times, right? But you can sign up and start ordering as soon as we turn on the product availability. You can start ordering directly on the BFG platform. It will create purchase orders in the Core Store, and as we work with other partners, they'll be able to create purchase orders. If you're using a different system, and for drop shipping, at least certainly for this year, but hopefully by SHOT Show we'll expand it. But for this year, any of the drop shipping, unless you manually want to add the products, which is a pain in the ass, obviously. For now, you've got to be a CoreForce user, and no, there's no extra cost, and it will be available for every CoreForce user, whether you're a basic user, advanced, standard, or even enterprise. And it's easy, right? Because it's just shows up on your website. You still control who you order the product from. BFG will appear just as another distributor in your dashboard. So if you want to order it from someone else, again, it's you're the decision maker here. The retailer is you're at the helm. So
yeah, I think that's a great call out, Ezra. We mentioned the content engine component of it. So being able to push that brand content directly into stores, that is a component of the core ecosystem as it stands today. But the ability for you to log in directly to BFG and conduct orders, those two things are independent of each other as it stands
100%.
today. So we've called out the QR code a couple of times, but I also, I want to caveat that the QR code is very specific to this beta program with the manufacturers that we discussed and a few others, and that is a application, right? You need to apply, we need to have a conversation, and then we'll connect you to those to those brands that are offering the specials through BFG today. But for the rest of everybody, like everybody else, whether you sign the QR code or not, I think we have the page for registration that we can show. I want you to go to buyingfreedom.app. And within that, sign up, go ahead and get everything logged in. This is you will need your FFL, so make sure your FFL is handy. But go ahead and go in, sign up for the application. Everybody has access to logging in, seeing pricing, doing everything that we've shown today. Again, there's a difference between signing up for the application and then signing up to be part of that beta program. So please do both, and we'll reach out and make sure that we are in contact and kind of give you all the information that you need. But I hope we've
got
answered.
that on the screen in about 3 seconds, Ryan. So
sounds good.
just
Yeah,
to be
easy
able to
enough.
see.
I know that Buying Freedom app is scrolling there at the bottom. Whether you're on your phone, whether you're on your desktop, just go in buyingfreedom.app, and you're going to be presented with a login screen. At the bottom of that login screen, it'll basically say, if you don't have an account, click here. Go ahead and click there, and then follow the prompts to get you all set up within Buying Freedom. And I think we've answered most of the questions everybody has. I know there are some that are a little bit longer. Somebody had asked about setting up with some of the bigger players, the Amazons, the Shopifys, etc. The simple answer to that question is, do we have capabilities to help you in managing, especially as a brand, managing some of your sales across those larger platforms? Short answer is yes, but there's a much longer answer to that that's really not for today's discussion. So again, reach out and we can have that discussion offline to let you know where we have technology that can support you, and then where we have partners that have technology that can support you. But other than that, Charles, what have we missed?
I think we hit it all, right? It's the direct ordering. It's the getting on those manufacturers' in-stock locator sites. It's getting those range programs, those stocking dealer programs, having that automated product data and map pricing to really have this great confluence to bring new product in. I'd say too, again, the drop shipping, right? There's going to be more of that coming online as we're going to keep doing this, right? This is just the first of many kind of brand introductions. And we'll get into more product. You wanted to see the flashlight.
Yes.
We'll get into more product demos as well, just so you guys can really see.
It's ridiculous.
You might have available. But yeah, for the drop shipping, right? I'm excited about those smaller, really passionate brands that you'll be able to have on your website for dropship that, not a lot of other people have, and building those relationships. That's what excites me. Kind of like Ezra said, right? It's the brick and mortar, but it's the small manufacturers, it's the big manufacturers. It just kind of takes things to the next level.
I love that. So I'm looking at the chat. We've got a few people that are going through the buyingfreedom.app and having trouble with the FFL. Make sure that if you're doing that, if we could throw up the QR one more time. If you haven't done the QR, do that. Let's make sure that we're able to get in contact with you. There may be a bug. We'll get it all worked out. But yeah, I think, Charles, that is the high level, right? That's the 100,000 foot view of Buying Freedom Group. I'm really excited. I know you're really excited to finally have shared everything with everybody, whether that be from the data side, the manufacturing side, consumer, the retailers. It really is a win across the board. And that's just one of those things that is rare in today's retail environment, right? Everything's always about somebody trying to make a buck somewhere, and there's always going to be a loser in that instance. And for the Buying Freedom Group, it's simply not the case. We are really here to support everybody across the board, regardless of your platform, regardless of your sales and marketing philosophies, etc. So very exciting. I think that's all I've got, Charles. If you have anything to add.
I don't think so. Lawrence, just to answer that last question there, Lawrence, if you have just Core Store, you do not have to have Core Force. You don't have to have, again, any platform. If you want it to automatically show up on your website, the product to automatically show up on your e-com site, you have to have Core Force. But if you just have Core Store, the cool thing is if you order through BFG, it will automatically populate as a PO in Core Store. So it's going to save you time on just, even just that manual labor of having it drop in as a PO. Oh, David said, type your FFL without the dash. Thanks, David. Appreciate that. But yeah, cool. Ryan, I think that's all I had.
Yeah, I think that's great. Joel, are we able, I know there's a lot of chat going on. There's a lot of chatter going on in the chat about the FFLs and getting everybody signed up. I know once we sign off, are we able to leave that chat running for a little while just to make sure everybody's taken care of?
If they're on our website, if they're watching the webinar on our website at so it'll be coreware.com/whatever, it keeps going for I think another 8 or 9 minutes. But the main thing to do, obviously, is to scan the QR code. But if you miss anything, obviously that replay will immediately be ready to view on coreware.com, or if you're watching on YouTube, it will immediately be ready to replay there and on X. So, or if you're on StreamYard, the replay is going to be ready now. As soon as we go off, you can scroll through and pick up what you missed, or get those links, the QR codes, whatever you need is going to be in the replay. So, but again, I would encourage people. I think we've had quite a few submissions already, so we have seen a lot of interest. But we obviously you guys want to see more, so be sure to scan that QR code, fill that thing out, and yeah. Did I take up too much time?
That was perfect.
Awesome.
Ezra, I guess I know we're probably working on the FFL situation in the background. If you are
I wanted
There you go.
I was going to say, so a couple of things. Again, the system's not necessarily perfect in terms of the data. So first of all, if your FFL is accepted, we do show you an email address that we have on file. We actually don't show the full email address for security reasons. But if you don't recognize that email address, again, just email us. You can email info@buyingfreedomgroup.com or scan the QR code. But just get in touch with us and we'll make sure we've got to be really careful because we don't want someone impersonating you in terms of impersonating your store. Right. So there is a secondary security check. If your FFL is not working at all, again, it could be we haven't onboarded or pre-onboarded, right? We don't onboard without you, but we try to do a pre-onboarding because clearly we have the FFL list. But yeah, just contact us. Again, if you are a Coreware customer, I'm letting you know customer service has literally nearly zero knowledge of this. So they won't be able to, please, I know you get frustrated with them. In this case, don't get frustrated with them. It is a separate company. And we do have, what is it, nearly 20 people on the BFG side now?
Yes,
Ryan?
19.
Yeah, 19. So we do have a separate team there. Again, we're just in the midst of getting everything going here. It's been a ton of work. So just bear with us. Ryan's awesome as far as if he says he'll get back to you, he will get back to you. Yeah. That's guaranteed. Thank you for your service. Obviously, he's like Joel, a military guy and very precise in what he does, which is
he'll get back to you at 5 a.m. So
yeah. I will. I was going to say I will probably get back to you before the sun comes up. That's just the way it goes. But yeah, just info at Buying Freedom Group, like Ezra said, is going to be the best way to communicate to the Buying Freedom Group side of the business. And I know, Joel, we were planning to put up the QR code when we kind of closed up here to buyingfreedom.app. But if we can put up the other one, since we seem to be having an issue there, and that way everybody can go ahead and just fill out the form. And tomorrow morning, 5:01 a.m., be prepared for an email from me.
You said info at buyingfreedomgroup.com, correct?
Well, the original QR we were going to put up was the one to take you to the login page at buyingfreedom.app. But the one that we've been showing up in the upper right corner, if we could just show that one when we close, and that way people will just fill out that form and then I'll reach out to them directly.
Also, if you don't see it, it will be there in the replay. Don't forget, just because the thing stops and we're not live anymore, we are still living in the ether as a replay. And we feel every second that you watch.
Joel especially, he sends us that energy. It's really good.
Yeah. What else do we have?
I think that's it.
I think everything's wrapping up.
It is. I mean, we've got, I think for the most part, questions are specific to the QR. Once we've got that information, like I said, the team is going to be reaching out over the next day or two. Give us the rest of the day to kind of wrap up and get things organized. But 5 a.m. tomorrow, I'll start sending out invites to actually book meetings. We'll get the interviews done, see if you qualify to be part of the beta for some of these manufacturers that we discussed today and a few others that we just didn't bring up because of the time constraint. But we'll start having those conversations. Any additional questions you guys have, shoot them over to us. Happy to go through any of it, and just excited to be here and be part of the game.
Charles, any words? Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
I mean, it's nice. Don't get me wrong, but we kind of want to hear you right now. Oh, it's okay if we can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you. You probably destroyed your mic with the freaking flashing light because it almost sent me into shock.
It was that bright. I had a mini seizure.
I was like, man, that's painful.
Cool.
Ezra, any words?
Any word?
Any words?
Thank you.
Before we kick off my favorite part of the show, which is our song.
Exactly. No, thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending. Again, we know time is valuable, and we appreciate you being here. And we look forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much,
much,
everybody.
guys. And obviously, I know that BFG will be bringing more to you, maybe talking to some actual manufacturers, right? Or did I hear wrong?
Where the expectation right now is not next Tuesday, 2 weeks from today, Tuesday the 24th, right before the holiday takes off. We're actually going to have some of the manufacturers on board talking about the specials that they're going to be pushing forward. The hope is that we move from beta into production at that time, right before the holiday season. We want you to be able to automate most of your sales. So come back for that one. We'll be pushing out emails with registration links and all of that stuff. And we'll see you then.
That's freaking awesome. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you in the next one. Now let's dance.
Let's do it.
BFG, we break the chain, no middle ground. The old world's burning
Charles,
down.
we need
I'll pull us-
strobe.
Sound, we rise
I'm going to
from
pull
the
us
static,
off the
rebuild
screen
the
so that I
machine.
can throw the QR code.
Free your time.
Thank you, everybody.
Free your time. Free your time. Locked inside this cycle of delay, too many hands in the way. The signal's lost through interference. We're done waiting for permission. They built their walls to take control, but we're igniting what they stole. Every barrier's bound to fall. We're the ones who burn it all. Every second's another decay. Every voice gets stripped away. No more silence, no more change. We are the system that remains. BFG, we break the chain. No more in between. No more ghosts controlling the scene. We rise from the static, rebuild the machine. BFG, we connect, we move, we breathe clean. They sell disguised as trust, turn the gold beneath to dust. But we see truth in real time now, and we're not backing down. Unified minds, clear direction, direct lines, no disconnection. Cut the lies, align the view. What's real is breaking through. Every second's another decay. Every voice gets stripped away. No more silence, no more change. We are the system that remains. BFG, we break the chain. No more in between. No more ghosts controlling the scene. We rise from the static, rebuild the machine. BFG, we connect, we move, we breathe clean. I won't be filtered, I won't be sold. Your old controls running cold. Real data, real time, real demand. Power shifting to the brand. You can't stop what's built to evolve. With the future, the grand resolve. With a voice, with a proof. Buying freedom, that's the truth. BFG.